Welcome, everyone, to another episode on the PLA podcast. I have an incredible guest here that I am so excited to record this podcast with. Suseela, welcome to the PLA podcast.
Thank you, Dunia. Uh, it's really nice to be a part of a podcast interview. Um, I'm so excited for this.
I'm truly looking forward to it. And I'm so excited. I feel like I couldn't press record fast enough because we got into such a warm and juicy topic filled with value. So I want to quickly run through your intro and really make sure that the audience gets to know you as well as we have had the opportunity at PLA. And then I want to jump right in. So amazing. Give me just a moment. And to everyone listening, get ready. This is going to be an incredible episode. So, welcome. This is Suseela Pandity. She comes from humble beginnings and the first generation in her family to graduate from college, including the first to leave her home country and build a life abroad. Educated in her mother tongue until her undergrad, transitioned into English medium education during her MBA, and pivoted into a career in IT without an Ivy League or elite background. She built success through perseverance, adaptability, and self belief, and took on family responsibility early as the eldest child, especially as a woman. She continues to show up for her family while navigating ongoing challenges and deeply is committed to her religious and spiritual practices. Practicing self healing through affirmations in her inner work, known for resilience, facing life's difficulties with grace. She believes in growth, giving, and staying grounded through every season. And she carries a quiet strength, turning hardship into purpose and light. Suseela, it's so wonderful to have you on here.
That's a wonderful intro, Dunia. Thank you so much. I'm so impressed.
Well, it's her story. So I love that piece of like feeling that sense of like pride and even of being impressed. I think that that's so important when we are looking at everything that we've been through. And so it's a true pleasure and privilege to have you on today.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm
I
really
would yeah, I would love to know, if you could take us to the very beginning of this beautiful young woman that, is really abroad, is has now just moved abroad, is now in the US and is just about to start her life and career in this foreign country and is breaking in some ways these cycles of past generations and is a real pioneer in her family history. I would love to know, what is something you wish she had known at that time, knowing everything that you know now?
She would have known me as a young lady before moving here. I would have known that I have a capability and capacity to do and achieve anything that I want to. So I would have known that I can focus. I can break all these traditional or conventional ideas or mindsets, and then I can grow through that. So still be humble and grounded.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that the piece of advice you wish you had heard was really around a mindset and belief, and is really in trusting yourself that you are capable and that you at that time were just as capable to create a new life, to break these traditions or these barriers or beliefs that no longer served you. There's so many beautiful things about tradition, and there are things that are beautiful about, these changes and innovation and evolution that we bring through these new
Yeah,
experiences. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely, yes.
I love this. And, it makes me really, it actually connects me to your story around the power of using affirmations and, affirmations to as a tool to rewire the mind, to rewire our belief system, to expand what we believe we are capable of through this, like, this shift in how we talk to ourselves.
Mhm.
I love it. I'm curious, Susila. There is this really good question that I wanted to ask you that we were talking about just before this podcast. And I'd love for you to give us a little bit of insight. And I'm wondering, like, how do I want to bring this up? Because it was just so good and so potent. I'd love for you to share what has been a big insight that came for you today, and then let's dive into it.
Definitely, Dunya. So today uh, I have observed myself. I paid attention to myself, how I started taking things right when it comes to maybe some negative feedback or somebody's their own opinions towards me. Okay, so if it was before, I would be like pondering on it. I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to, really ponder and talk and talk continuously. And it really gets to my heart and it doesn't leave my mind at all. So now, today, at this point of my life, I think it as that's their opinion,
Mm,
nothing to do with me. They
wow.
are thinking about me like that is their own mindset. It's
Mm,
nothing to do with me or my capabilities or my capacity or who I am and what I am. So nothing related to that. It's their own thinking, their own processing. It's belong to them, nothing to me.
wow.
So that's how I started taking. So it's such a great shift for me. I surprised myself today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. And this is like, and I loved this topic so much. I really wanted us to bring this up on the podcast because so many of us, I'm sure, even those listening to the recording, can relate to that experience where something is said, whether it's feedback, whether it's constructive, even though it has a slight critique, it has, a point of improvement, or it's something that, hits a little bit more below the belt and is difficult that we get wind of.
Yeah.
And so part of it is this invitation of these are going to be experiences that so many of us, whether in our professional lives or our personal lives, are going to come across. And it's
Yeah.
our choice how we choose to respond rather than taking it on as a belief and identity and really taking it on through a wound or allowing ourselves to be equanimous and realizing, wait a minute, this is an opinion, this is an experience, this is a belief, and I
Yeah.
can allow it to come and I can allow it to go without that point of reactivity. And
Yeah.
sometimes even take the feedback and implement, or sometimes realize, wait a minute, this has very little to do with who I actually am. This is more of a reflection of where it's coming from and to be at peace with it. But what I loved the most about what you shared is noticing the difference in how you've reacted in the past and
Mhm.
seeing and noticing that change in how you're reacting today and that growth. And
Mhm.
I think that that's such an invitation. I want the audience to really start to reflect on how are
Yes.
they reacting today that is so different to how they used to react in the
Yes.
past?
Yes. Absolutely. So, one thing I wanted to mention here, Dunia,
Of course.
our brain really wired to our how we react.
Mm,
And so, my own experience today is back of my head, still that noise is that warrior is still digging
yes.
and trying to stir the pot. Hey, you need to talk. You need to talk. I said, no, I'm talking to myself and saying, no, I don't need to talk anything to anybody. Is anybody going to help with me? Help this with me? No. Is it going to be benefited to anybody? No. Is it going to benefit me by talking? No. So why do I bother talking about it?
Mhm,
So just like disconnect that wire,
mhm,
disconnect that noise, disconnect that warrior. So in our PLA community, we always talk about when you stop being responding to that warrior, you are winning.
mhm.
So that's one thing I have learned hard way, but it is really good feeling. It is definitely a good feeling when you cut that wire of this your warrior is keep bothering in your head.
Mm. Oh,
So
I love this. Yeah. I think that you bring up that important point of that noise is still there, but we are choosing to cut the wire of the reaction of stepping through and what we're going to do about that noise rather than saying The noise is going to be there and I'm not going to feed it. I'm going to allow it to come and to slowly dissipate, because all noises, all voices eventually do leave. Wow, this is very potent, and I think this is a major piece of value for everyone listening, no matter where you're at in your story, in your career, in your season of life. What are you reacting to? Where is there an invitation to start cutting that wire between the voice, the noise, the story, the belief that's not serving us, and that reaction point?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Oh my God. That brings me to my next question, which I love, and I'm like, well, I'm just relishing on this last question that we just explored together. The piece around, so many of us learn, and you brought up, and what I love is it bridges to something you had just mentioned, where it was a hard lesson. It wasn't easy for me to learn, but it felt good when I started to learn it and implement it. Like we know in our careers, so many times we go through difficulty, and it's not always just good. And it's actually through the difficulty that we learn most. And I'd be curious to know, what were the biggest challenges of your own career and how have they served you?
Definitely, Dunya. So, every transition in our life or in our career, we go through such a drift. It is not pleasant, unpleasant drifting, right? Whether it takes a year, a month, or few weeks, doesn't matter, right? So it served me really well to reflect on myself. What am I doing? What I have been doing? And what was right, what is not right. So it's a great moment for me. It created a momentum, I would say. It created a momentum for my self-reflection and correction. So when a human being or anybody has that self-reflection and self-awareness and realization, there, that is the step for the success. That is
Mm,
what I believe. So my transitions or my challenges, whatever I faced in my life, career wise or personal life, it helped me to realize who I am,
mm,
what is my capacity and capability of going through this. You
wow.
know, when you pass through that tunnel, you feel you have so many feelings inhibiting you and protecting you, trying to guard yourself. But when you realize there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that is what you are.
Yeah.
That is your who you are.
Mm. Oh, I love this. Oh, there's so much here. I love that piece around in the feeling in the tunnel. And I think so many people can relate to that, where you're in the tunnel, you cannot see the end. There's probably a sense of even compression, being restricted, being limited.
Yes.
There's probably some fears, there's some unknown of what is coming, but
Mhm.
eventually trusting that with time, that light is going to show up. But what I love is that you change the metaphor or the meaning of the light, not just a light of hope, but really the light is actually the transformation of who you become in the process.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly right. Yes.
Yeah. And it was potent, and that every single transition, every single difficulty was this invitation to ask yourself these deeper questions. And really the most important question, like you mentioned, is who am I?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. That gives you a great opportunity if you are ready to take that opportunity of your transitions or your challenges that throwing a fireballs on your life or career. If you are ready to take up that challenge, it will teach you valuable lessons that you
Mm.
cannot forget ever.
Oof, yeah. Be willing to go through the discomfort. And I love that you bring this up, because our natural tendency as human beings is to lean away from discomfort, lean
Yes.
away from pain, lean away from any kind of form of suffering, really. But it's actually an invitation to say, can I lean in further? Because there's a reason this is happening. There's an invitation here to stretch me into who I need to become for what's coming and what's going to be created.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. In one word, it is a self-realization. If you allow to
Mm,
happen that, if you let it happen, if you're really deep in that thought, how can I make use of this time and this
mm.
challenge? It will definitely create some wonders for you.
Oh, I love that. How can I make use of this challenge in time? I hope everyone listening is writing this question down. How can I make use of this challenge in time? And I hope that and everyone listening is asking themselves that exact question because
Mm,
it's all of us, every single human being on the planet right now, no matter how good it is going
yes,
through some form of challenge, whether it's a small challenge in one area or it's a major challenge in one or multiple areas. It's an invitation about how can I utilize what life is gifting me through all of this.
yes,
So good.
absolutely.
Oh my god. So this brings me to the next question, which a lot of people have seen as the greatest opportunity or the greatest challenge recently, which is this conversation about AI. And I'd love, Suseela, just to get your own take, experience, perspective. Like, how has that experience for you been of witnessing the world go through this massive change with the, you know, I'd say the invitation or the use of AI at a global scale?
Yes, yes, definitely, Dunya. AI as a technology, it has brought so many opinions in everybody's minds and in everybody's lives. And but for me, in my opinion, it is a great innovation. It's a great innovation that we can use the entire world's data in one place, like whether it's a chat GPT or Gemini or however many hundreds of AI tools that we have available right now, and all the builders, developers, they have been building all these products and introducing, and every one of us getting this luxury and comfort of accessing the data. So whether it be any field, it be a medical field, it be a technological field, it be any other service field, any area of business,
Wow.
you get to access the world's best data. I mean,
Mm,
there are pros and cons for everything. We definitely see that. But AI has brought this by building these great models, machine
mm,
learning models.
yeah.
It gave us, for every one of us, a great exposure to best data.
Wow. Yeah, and absolutely. And it simplified the process, right? I love that
Yeah.
you've brought that up that, it's pooling all of this data into one space rather than going and filtering through multiple web pages and then searching through these web pages the information.
Yes,
It's, been an incredible search engine for so many all around the world, really.
yes, absolutely. You can create your own PPTs. You can ask for um, bring me what medical solutions or technological solutions. Even it is writing a code blocks,
Yeah.
and then it is making developers' life easy. You don't have to keep on going and building every single block of data or code for you to write, build a product. So now human beings are trying to focus where the errors are, just
Mm,
focusing on building the quality products, you
wow.
know, rather wasting the time or spending lots of time on researching and everything. Now, with the stipulated time, you can complete your research and then focusing on building quality products.
What comes up, which I love when you're sharing this, is like so many of us have spent so much energy, time, and effort on building out these steps that were very predictable and could, in some ways be done very simply, but they just simply, we didn't have the technology at the time to do them. And we had such little time to be innovative and creative. And I love that piece around quality products. Oftentimes, quality products are well thought out, are creative, are innovative, are really putting the client at the core or at the forefront of our decision making and the user experience. And oftentimes we would be wasting so much time building these things that we didn't have the time to actually implement and really focus on what's most important.
Absolutely, yes. Now you can focus on your user, their requirements, how they can you can make your user be so proud,
Yeah.
right? Offering you to build this product. So quality is the best definition that I can bring what AI has brought up.
Oh, amazing. And Cecilia, I'm going to ask you my favorite question to ask on the PLA podcast, which is, what is the legacy and impact you're still looking forward to leaving behind in this life?
Yeah. This is my favorite question too, Dunia. The legacy that I wanted to leave behind is give back.
Mm.
Give back what you receive, more than what you receive. And the legacy I wanted to leave back is leave the place better, or if not best, than what you received.
Yeah.
Right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So do not
It's
ruin things.
it's it's I love that you bring this up. It's actually one of my favorite mottos in the world. And it's like leaving the place better than you found it. I think that there's so much value if every single person on the planet
Mhm.
took that as an initiative in every room they walked into. It doesn't have to be major change. It
Right.
can be a 1%
Yes.
improvement. But imagine if the entire world walked with that motto every single day into every single room and opportunity. We'd live in a very different world. So I'm so
Yes.
touched that that was your choice.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Leaving the place. I mean, as you mentioned, Dunia, 1%, if you have, anybody has 1 single % of the thought, when you are leaving the room, just leave it. Clean up after yourself.
Yeah.
That's as simple as that. Clean up after yourself, and that place be better. And leave the place for next person to use it.
Yeah. And I love that it sounds so simple. We could tell this to a kindergarten student, and
Yeah.
yet it can also be implemented in our work. If you're leaving an organization or project, how are you leaving it better than you found it? If you're leaving a piece of code, how are you leaving it
Yes.
better than you found it?
Yeah. Document it, document everything. So that's what we say, documentation is very, very important. However that we have the technological development that we are receiving in this modern technology world, document everything and make it available for everybody. Do not
Wow.
just hide it in your word document or whatever, the OneDrive, your personal OneDrive. No, just in your organization, leave that documentation for exposure to everybody,
Incredible.
at,
Oh,
at everybody's disposal. Leave it. It is, if you hide it, if you keep it for yourself, it will be just like this.
mm,
If you share your knowledge, you will grow, and your knowledge will help somebody to grow too.
oh.
So that's the best usage of your knowledge. So document and share it.
Oh, I love this. Yeah. I think that there is, and it's really being of service to the world and service to others. It's like that piece of taking the time to document what you're doing, but sharing. It's the piece of sharing.
Yeah.
And it's just, this is where we become a collective. This is where we become like truly part of the ecosystem of life, of the world, of humanity, of our greater country, whatever country you might live in.
Yeah.
There's so much there and so much value there of saying, wait a minute, I'm not in this game by myself. And the minute I start to play a part where I can collaborate with the entire ecosystem, where I can play a part and we can all feed off each other, I mean, possibilities are endless. And if you can start implementing, and this I'm speaking to those listening, if you can start implementing that in your teams, how can I be a better participant in the system that I am a part of?
Yeah.
Wow, if everyone was thinking this way, I think organizations would see a major growth in 2026.
That is so true, Dunia, that I wanted to mention that we are no more a citizen of one country or one location or anything. Now we are global citizens. Our
Yes,
businesses are global. We are living, yeah, everything is global. So we need to consider ourselves as a global citizens. So that
absolutely.
way we can make much difference in the world, on the earth, and in our lives.
Oh, I love this. Okay, so this brings me to my last question, the PLA podcast, because of course we're on the PLA podcast. So I have to
Yes.
ask you, I have two questions. One is what originally drew you to a community like PLA? And
Mhm.
the second question is what has been the most surprising thing that you've gotten out of PLA that you didn't expect to?
Sure. I will go with the first one. Um, the reason I am here with the PLA community, I love the proximity, the positivity, and motivation, and the commitment that everybody has it. It see, if you see, this is the human nature. Like that's how we are wired, right? If you see somebody achieving something, you feel that motivation too. Oh, why can't I? If somebody does something, you can do it too. And there is a saying like, if I can do it, you can do it as well. So
Yes.
that's a motivation. So the first reason, the most important reason that I am in this community is to improve myself, develop myself, and realize myself, who I am, and rebuild that communication, rebuild that connection to myself and with the community.
Beautiful.
So that's the most important reason. And what I'm gaining or receiving here, the community, PLA community is basically give and take. You receive, most of it you receive. You receive lots of, this radical commitment is what we are committed for this 2026, right? The radical commitment. That's a powerful word. That's really a powerful word. And we are committed to ourselves. We are committed to the team. We are committed to the community. All together, we are committed to bring change in our lives, in our communities. So that's what I'm getting.
Incredible. And wow, yeah, that summarized PLA so beautifully. And there's so many things that come up. It's been an incredible community to be part of and to see each and
Yes.
every one of you grow. I love that piece around, being so dedicated to growth and I love that piece about realizing who you are, like bringing to life this next version of you, most authentic to you, and really the top version of what you're capable of creating in this next season of your life. That
Yes.
really hit home. I think that there's something like we all have that potential, and there are very few people that choose to really bring it to life and do the work necessary to do so.
Yeah, it feels so good that being true to yourself, be true to yourself, and then that makes whole lot of difference. And that burden, that feeling like which you are not, you are
Mhm.
building that. Oh, I am this, I want to be this. All that additional ideas that you gather and put on weight on your heart, when you true to yourself, it all lights down and then
Wow.
feels so good. That
Oh,
itself is a first step of your success, being true to yourself, and go from there.
Oh, I love this, Suseela, and a beautiful way to like wrap up this incredible episode. And for anyone listening, if this is the first episode you're listening to the PLA podcast and you are curious about PLA, we host these amazing free trainings that so many of us have been a part of so often. You will be blown, even if you never hear of PLA again, take my word for it, you will be blown away by the tools and results you will get just within this free training. And so I always recommend it to everyone I know to attend the PLA free workshop. It's incredible. And so if I were you, I would not miss it. So if you're curious, you can scan this with scan the QR code with your phone. You'll get the information to be able to register to the next one. And just if you attend this training itself, with nothing else, you will be blown away by the value that you will get from the training itself. So, Sela, I really wanted to take the time to thank you for your incredible wisdom today and your beautiful energy as always. And truly looking forward to having you once again on as a guest on the PLA podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dunia. I'm really, really honored to be part of this PLA podcast, and I'm so grateful for it. Thank you so much.
Such a treat. And we'll catch each and every one of you to the next episode of the PLA podcast.